Taking on Avek, Razor, and Avek has not actually. I'm not quite sure which one whose map pick was what. I'm not quite sure, Toss, but we'll get it. We know that T7 and ZTN will be the two maps, and we are starting here on T7 with Stermy getting the first frag there. A little fight over red armor, but my gosh, Avek almost bringing it back in his favor as he gets a lot of damage there on Stermy. Has him down to 39 points of health, but Stermy is still insisting on going after it, chasing that kill. He'll now grab that 50 health, comes on out, is going for that red, is going to put himself at risk, but he gets a very, very nice rocket. Stermy playing a very intelligent game, gets hit again, and even with this no armor, oh my god, another kill on Avek, and Stermy already up 2-0 in this first map in what I believe will be a fairly epic series.
This is a really powerful start from Stermy, just cut down by the LG of Avek, quickly stopping Stermy from racing away with this one. I favor Stermy for this one, I have to say. Seeing Avek earlier on today was a little disappointed with his performance. Don't think Avek's in top shape, but as I say that, he pulls it right back to a 2-2. I mean, and there's no doubting Avek's quality if he could just sort of, I think he's just rusty. I think both Avek and Cypher are rusty. And you know what? Well, if they're going to grow stronger as this event goes on.
And you're right, they are. And one of the things to consider, one of the things that they've been sort of widely criticized for on the net by the hardcore Quake community is that they haven't put in their due time into Quake Live as they have with you know, a game like Quake 3. And you could say, like, look, if you played Quake 3, you played Quake Live, but it's just not true. There are maps, there are specific changes, the way that a lot of the code works, some of the net code, the way the hitboxes, there are certainly some difference. So you can't just expect, hey, I'm a Quake 3 champion, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just absolutely rage, because there are those minor little details that have changed.
And actually reading some of those comments, I think people are also a little disappointed because both Avek and Cypher, oh, great rocket coming in from Stermy. That'll be that. He takes his lead back. Yeah, Avek and Cypher for sort of 2 years as they rose to the fame were hard workers. They were consistently placing. I think people are a little disappointed. Here we go, Stermy. LG drops down and picks himself up the frag of Avek, and Avek now is waiting. Oh, great rail onto Avek as he drops down. He was chasing Stermy out with that LG, and I think Avek thinks that Stermy's got less health than he actually does.
Yeah.
Because he was so aggressive.
Yeah, and you know what? Even in some cases, Stermy did have no health, or maybe a very little bit of armor. So you play that way and you sort of throw your opponent off kilter, and this is no real difference here with Avek and Stermy playing. But, you know, talking about other people being disappointed is that Stermy has been criticized for also not being, you know, like, oh, Stermy's never played Quake Live. Like, oh, how's he going to... And Stermy, I'm sorry, guys, but Stermy has been a self-sustained professional gamer for like the last 7-8 years. He has had the uncanny ability to be able to go from something like Unreal Tournament to FIFA to Quake to Quake 4 to Quake Live to Pink. I mean, the list goes on. So you've got to consider that, you know, maybe he hasn't put all the time into Quake Live that he needs to, but Stermy is so key and so prone to be able to adapt to a new game. And I think he has a lot to prove here, and he certainly is so far in this T7 matchup. My God, we're 4 minutes and 10 seconds in, and it is 7-2. And Toss, I don't even know if I would have predicted such a score.
You know, Avek is a million miles away at the moment from Stermy. He's just not at the races. Stermy's going at 100 miles an hour, and Avek is struggling to make 50.
Yeah.
And that's just a big difference. You can see in the way that Stermy's running the map. He's looking every which way, and he knows where Avek is before Avek is, you know, even acutely aware of Stermy's presence. And you know, the Italian is in great nick right now. And interestingly enough, these events provide both Avek and Stermy opportunities to actually perform because they're from Italy and Poland, two nations that just haven't really got with the broadband world. And so both at LAN will really perform much higher.
Wow.
But Stermy's on another planet right now.
He not only is on another planet, but Avek is helping out his cause, like running at him when your opponent's got a rocket launcher out, and you're obviously setting yourselves up for some defensive ground rockets. That's exactly, I mean, Stermy he'll take that all day long. And there's another one, son, LG to the face, 10-2, as Stermy has an 8 frag lead here on T7, and I almost wish that I had, the internet IRC channels in front of me right now, because I guarantee you that people would be like, is this actually Stermy playing right now? And it's like, dude, he's not a joke. Like, a lot of those comments that come out about him, about his play, about his style, about the different games he plays, they're just not warranted, and he's having that capability to prove himself here at QuakeCon 2009.
But you can see in this map, just kind of back their corner, in this map, it's rail, it's LG. It's rail, it's LG. And Stermy's playing that just to the textbook. And that is Stermy. Stermy was always stronger in maps that allowed him just to purely out-aim his opponent, because that's his biggest strength.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And we saw that just in the last CTF game. On CTF2, Stermy was put in basically to play middle and just rail the hell out of people, and that's exactly what he did. A great escape there by Stermy. He's got 26 points of health. He's still going to take the risky move and jump for Mega, and he does pay off. He's at 120. This is actually the weakest I think we've seen him the entire matchup. And even then, he's still pressuring Avek very, very hard.
He's just keeping Avek away with those rockets, and then when he gets in close, rail LG, just Avek has not got an answer for it right now. 11-2, 3 minutes to go. Where has time gone? I mean, for Stermy, this is a cruise control position. Here we go. Rail comes in from Avek. This is his one opportunity. LG's in. Mega is up, waiting for him. And Stermy's in real trouble. Rocket's waiting for Avek as he goes. He misses the Mega jump. Oh, does Avek get it? I'm not sure whether Avek got that
No,
Mega.
he did not.
But he does follow up with the rail. And,
he did.
Off the back, though, Stermy back with a vengeance.
Yes, and Stermy's been looking very nice the entire matchup. Wasn't expecting one frag to just suddenly take away all his control and all his momentum, as it didn't. Additionally, Stermy, with 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining, has a very, very posh 9 frag lead right now. On a map like T7, again, that's going to be a tough one. A lot of little special hiding places, a lot of different things that you could do, and there is a great mid-air rocket, again, by Stermy to make it a 10-point game. Double-digit lead here by Stermy. And as he sets it up, and one of the things I want to point out again, TosspoT, is that he has definitely, even when Stermy has had no armor or been very, very weak, he's still put that pressure on his opponent. It's almost like, he is playing possum a little bit for Avek, trying to get him to bait out, and when he does, he just capitalizes on it. It's pretty sick.
Now, here's a question for you, Marcus. You are the oldest man in Quake. What are your thoughts on 10-minute map times?
Says I'm the wrong guy to ask. I'm getting older, so obviously the shorter they are, the better, right? I mean, I go to bed at 9. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I kind of like the 10-minute map time for a lot of reasons. During a tournament, we can cover a lot more games because the series are shorter. Now, it does kind of take away some aspects of comebacks, but I think that ultimately that has changed the metagame of Quake Live, because people aren't playing as defensively. They aren't playing in a turtle style. They're really forcing each other to fight, and I think ultimately that's what makes Quake so exciting, is these fights. I mean, guys running around the map and controlling, okay, great, we could watch that, but isn't it the mid-air rockets and the fights like we're seeing right here? This is what makes Quake Live exciting. So to me, the 10-minute time limit really facilitates that well, and I know a lot of people complain, but not me, dude. I'm all for it.
It made some really what I would consider positive changes from a broadcast perspective. If you look at the finals that have been here at QuakeCon in the past with the double elimination, I remember casting a Quake Wars final that went on for 4.5 hours, and people were just dead in their seats. Wake me up the next day ready for their airplane.
Right.
So they've got rid of that, and I think that's very, very important in terms of making it a spectacle.
I completely agree, and you know, to your point, CTF and the way that the spawns have changed at the end, you know, the longer the overtime goes, the shorter or the longer the spawns become, all those changes really facilitate a better spectator experience.
Now, if we harp that back to your interview with Carmack earlier on today, where he made, it harps to a thinking here at with Quake that actually, you know, Carmack was saying, we don't actually need to throw Quake onto the best engine in the world. We don't need to throw them onto a Tech 5. We can just let it play like this, and it will be enjoyed for what it is.
And it's very good to hear that from a community perspective, because a lot of people are always saying, you know what, you don't need to change the game. We've heard other games like that. You don't need to change. We don't need this or that. We don't need these, you know, great-looking graphics, etc. Although Quake Live obviously looks better than its Quake 3 counterpart, you know, part of me is very happy to hear Carmack say things like that. And just a quick update, yes, Stermy easily took that one, and there you see Stermy on the screen right there, and he's playing very unorthodox style right there.
Yeah, whenever we do a Crossfire LAN for ET, and he's not playing Quake at the time, he'll message me before, find me a team to play. He really is a multi-gamer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He has always proven himself as a multi-gamer, and it's one of the unique aspects of Stermy. In some cases, he gets a lot of hate for that, but in others, I've got to commend him. Like, that is not an easy thing to do. Anyone who's able to bounce from game to game, from different game types to different game types, in my opinion, dude, give him a pat on the back. That is not an easy thing to do, and there are not a lot of folks out there that are able to do it and then win consistently, or at least place in top places consistently. So,
and actually, to go out on a limb here and perhaps be a little bit unfriendly to someone, he doesn't also then go and brag that he's the world champion in Alien vs. Predator and Turok and all those things. He actually just sits and says, he doesn't make a big spectacle of it.
I just like to play. And, you know, I mean, Evergamer's a little bit different, and Stermy's a guy that definitely will take it the whole way. But, I mean, I got to agree with you on some aspects of that and many aspects, TosspoT. And we are getting ready for map number 2. Now, the big question is, can Avek bring it back in his favor after pretty much getting trounced by Stermy in the opening moments? I should probably actually...
Here we go. Straight away, the first frag is going to come from Stermy as Avek craters. It could happen again. Avek drops down right in front of him and almost happened, but this is the start Stermy needed, because this is definitely Avek's map, and this is a map we've seen him destroy humans on many a time.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that one, TosspoT. I'm sorry, I was in spec mode. I kind of missed that one, but I think just kind of a too close, up close and personal rocket, or did he crater?
No, they were right off the bat machine gun, and he just cratered as the battle ensued.
Awesome. So we got Mega about ready to be up. Stermy's going to have to give that up, but he is going to be able to grab this red armor, firing some grenades down below. Often seen defensive maneuver that will stop anyone who's trying to get that Mega health down there. And you had mentioned it, you know, that was the start that Stermy wanted. He wants Avek to have to fight an uphill battle, because certainly if this was anyone's map to have an advantage, it's got to be Avek. So if Stermy can capitalize on that, frustrate his opponent a little bit, those games will definitely help out. And there is going to be the equalizing frag as we switch over to Avek now. We are going to see it, and oh no, Avek got the Mega health. He says, that's not going to happen, buddy. And there is his first frag. So what would have been a 2-point lead is now just a 1-point lead because of that crater. The question is can Stermy bring it back, or will Avek have found that groove to put his needle in?
Yeah, there is something, Slash and I were talking about it, that if you're from Eastern Europe, you're just inherently good at this map. I don't know whether it's in the diet or what, but just going up against any one of these players is going to make it a lot harder for Stermy. I'd like to ask you, why is that? What do the coolers of X and Cyphers do that nobody else can?
You know, I wish I could totally answer that question, but part of me has to think that it has to do with some mind games that you can play on this map. And don't forget that Cooler was kind of the king of mind games. He just convinced everyone, I'm the best at ZTN. You're never going to beat me. Don't even try. And as a result, for some reason, all the Russians, the Belarus individuals, oh my God, look at that. Stermy with a nice sneaky little Metal Gear Solid-like move there as he just kind of sneaks around the column. He's going to pay for that one. The timing on on the red armor, a little bit off there. But, you know, the point being is I think the Russians pretty much tricked us all into thinking they're the best. It's all about the mental game. I mean, look at the current playing field now. Is there truly any one player that dominates ZTN the way that, like, Cooler and Unkind and those guys used to do back in the day? Like, I don't think so.
But is there a non-Eastern European that can beat an Eastern European on this?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out this tournament. Maybe we'll find out. It's 3-0 right now, 6 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. Let's get back to the action where Avek is looking pretty good with 124 health and 130 armor. He's got the mega health that's about ready to be up. Still a long spot. Well, gosh, does Avek know that it's there? He's got to know. But he also knew he had an open opportunity there to take out Stermy and throw off the mega time. So good to him as he seems to be playing very strong. Now, I would actually counter your question with another question, and that would be like, why can't a guy like Stermy, who's played this map for a very long time, who's got great aim, who understands the fundamental of timing power-ups and controlling those, why can't he just equalize things on a map like that?
If there was anyone, it's someone like Stermy who, you know, can rail with the best of them, and it's those tight angle rails that can really turn this map on its head. And good question. Mega is up. They're both going to fight for it, and Avek is going to be the one who comes away with it, but he's low on health. This rail is that rail battle could have changed the outcome. It wasn't to be in the end. Now it'll reconvene for the red. Through. Oh, yes!
Nice.
Stermy lands the rail onto the exit of the teleporter. Perfectly timed. Is that his avenue back in? He's got the health to chase Avek if he wanted to, but I'm not convinced he wants to do that. And he will just stop him from going up to the red, which is important for a few seconds. He wants to take this mega. He will do exactly that. Nade will come in just a fraction too late. Now he's going to battle it out for the red. Looks for the rail over the top. It's Avek that, in fact, lands the first rail out of the two. But nice rocket from Stermy up to the top. And Avek will have to drop back a little bit, and that should allow Stermy to take the red.
And he still hasn't. I'm a little surprised. There he finally does. He goes for it. It's a 5-frag deficit for Stermy. He is sort of in a position to control a little bit, and I think that you were right. He could have chased down Avek. The fox hunt could have been on, but instead, he chose to get a grasp again on the power-ups. And that was actually a mistake that we were seeing out of some of the players early on, where they would go aggressive instead of playing it very smartly. And there was a great kill there by Stermy. He's looking at possibly a conversion frag, and he does with a great bounce rocket into a rail combo. And that's going to make it a 3-frag game. And you know what? You kind of said it. If anyone could turn this game around and give Avek a game, it would be a player like Stermy. And I feel like not only his aim, but also his intelligent play is putting it back up there. But come on, guys. Avek is a very intelligent player. And, you know, despite maybe not being 100% on Quake Live, ZTN's still going to play like ZTN at the end of the day. And he does have some advantage there.
Stermy really shining through with just a few top shots here. And if he's going to get himself in it, he's got 4 minutes to do it. 3 frags, 4 minutes. Certainly open season still. As he waits down in the mega corridor. Darts his way through now up toward the red. Looking for Avek, who is where? Avek is chasing behind him as Avek is now going to rocket over towards Stermy's position. Misses his rail. Did it? No, he landed it. As either he landed it or Stermy missed his jump and follows up with a rail of his own. Avek does get the red, but Stermy's taking him down to 62 points of health. It's all going to kick off on the other side of the teleporter, and Avek's LG is unbelievable.
Yeah, not only his LG, but dude, to know that Stermy was going to come out of that teleporter, I mean, he was waiting there with a nice little present to say, hey, welcome back. And on exit, I mean, Stermy was obviously not prepared for that. He had his LG out, and in that case, he ran out of cells. That was a great play by Avek right there.
And that play has turned this game on its head. We've gone from 6-3 to 9-3 in the blink of an eye. And all of Stermy's hard work has been undone. And it's really looking like an uphill struggle because Avek is waiting for him at every turn. He rails him as he comes out the teleporter, just sublimely. And Stermy now is, well, oh, he's going to answer up with with one more is Avek, and Stermy thought at that moment, maybe I'd opened it up, maybe I had done enough. The answer's no.
But the answer was definitely no there, Tossing. With 2 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock, you know, Avek not looking so hot right now. 24 points of health. A rail here would do some significant damage. He misses that rail as Stermy grabs that Mega, and I gotta think that that's gonna give Stermy at least a little bit of an advantage, and there it is, a rail to end it. Now, Stermy really needs to pick up some conversion frags right here. 20 points of health, not gonna be the best for him. Oh no, I don't think he meant to jump in there, but he is gonna pick up these 225s. He was in a danger zone there with Avek, who also had LG out at the time. He goes down below and expects that 50 to be there, but it is not. So he knows that Avek has also got to be pretty, you know, he's got to be pretty beefy, at least in health, and we can check really. He's at 150, so he knew that he had taken that health and was back up to normal. There's the Mega once again, but with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, TosspoT, you got to imagine that even if there was going to be a phenomenal turnaround here by Stermy to come back with 6 frags on ZTN, going to be next to impossible, which ultimately means we will go to a third and final map to determine who will continue on in the upper bracket and who will finally go downstairs to the lower.
Yes, and you can see that Stermy really wanted to chase Avek out. Avek made himself hard to find at the best of the times, and full marks to him. He got his lead, and he quite happily sat on it. Stermy may get an opportunity to eat into it. No, it's the rockets coming back from Avek that have done the damage, and here we go. LG comes out, and there's the fall.
Good game. That was awesome. Down to like 5 points of health, and then he fell to the bottom. That'll be -10. And he will lose a frag there, but it's not going to make a difference here. Avek is so confident. He's just going to sit here and Mega. Wait, he doesn't have any, well, they did have an LG. So LG battle happening here on the metal deck, and Stermy will lose. Avek will take this momentum from ZTN and take it into whatever the random third map will be.
Yeah, we're going to find out how that goes in just a moment. They both get to eliminate one, and then the decider is done randomly. It takes a couple minutes to get it all done. I'm wondering who's going into that more confident. Who's going to take that one? I mean, there's...
You know what? Honestly, if I was Stermy, I would probably be saying the same thing I would be saying if I was Avek in the first map, and that is, well, it was his map pick. He is Russian, you know, at the end of the day. He's got that special ZTN gene that no one else has in the whole world. So, you know, you can look at it that way. The other thing, too, is that, you know, you've got to be able to erase those types of, you know, got to be able to erase those types of things from your head. I think that these guys are so seasoned. I think that these guys have played in so many competitions, at so many major events, that you know what, they just go, hey, I did my best. I had my comeback chance. I took a risk. I made a mistake. Next game is a new slate, so let's just go at it. Now, Faz has actually joined the game, and I don't think that should be happening right now. So apparently there are a lot of spectators here inside that matchup, but it probably won't matter too much because they still have to determine that other map. So we're tied 1-1 here in Stermy versus Avek, and that's kind of what I expected here. So the third map is going to prove to be a decider, and in such a way that we're going to have both players remove a map they don't like, and then it will be random with whatever's left. I would love to see another T4 matchup. But
that's
I've got to
map
think
of all time.
I've got to think that Avek is going to throw that, and if I would too. I mean, I would throw it knowing that Stermy has been playing some ridiculously awesome rail games. So, you know, we'll just
I think
have
about
to
like...
You what?
I think the safest bet for either one of these players is going to be something like the M6, because it's a pretty middle-of-the-road map that everyone's not terrible at.
But you've got to throw your map, and then it's random. So, like, even though they could say, I'm going to throw this with the intention of getting DM6, there's always that 50% chance it could be the other map. So, you know, I mean, I don't think the players have complained about it. I think they're very concerned, though, that, like, you know, who knows what could happen. We might get a T9 map, you know. It's going to be interesting. So we're waiting. They're asking about removing maps, and I think they're going to have an admin for that. Faz is saying, hey, just do it, and then we'll flip a coin. And I'm down with that too. Or I can just dictate and say T4, and they'll know.
Unknown command.
I just say T4. So welcome to QuakeCon 2009. Some great stuff happening here. We're in a pause as Stermy took map 1, Avek took map 2, and now we're deciding on map 3. But here inside the Gaylord Texan, where QuakeCon 2009 is taking place, got some great stuff. A whole lot of booths around here, getting to see a lot of games that we
I think there's been a lot more people here than normal.
Oh, I gotta agree, you know, and I think that, again, like, people finally learned, like, oh, QuakeCon's free, awesome, I'm gonna go stop by. I mean, I've seen a lot of families here.
Yeah, there's been a real diverse mix of people. I mean, normally, and this is just a guess, but normally I'd say, you know, there are 10,000 that walk through the door. I think this is double as busy as it normally is.
And I think that's great. I think it's absolutely great. A lot of people excited to see, of course, the new Wolfenstein title. Tomorrow, we're going to get to see the first public demo of Rage. Brink was shown today, which I was kind of upset that I had to sit here next to you because I wanted to see that game. And I'll have to, like, watch video. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I could get, like, a private showing. And I mean that in, like, the most private way.
Yeah.
TosspoT. No, so we're still waiting on the next map, but a lot of stuff going on here, and it's been great. So sponsors all here in full effect: Intel, Alienware, Dell. We've got.
Speaking of Intel, make sure you go over to the Intel booth, get yourself one of the badges. Anyone who's caught with one of the badges will win a prize when they come round. Now that prize could be a hat, or it could be a laptop. A hat.
Or a laptop. Or anything.
Or anything in between.
Yeah. So.
What is in between a hat and a laptop? I'm not sure.
All right. Well, these guys, they're kind of taking their sweet little time, but that's okay.
They're flipping.
They're flipping. Gotcha. So they don't notify us. They just do it, and then they tell us. So we're gonna get started here with map 3 coming up. We've still got some data burn. It sounded like the EMG team that just barely scraped by is going to be playing the winner of, and I'm going to get it wrong, 51.